Hey people, so today we're looking at equations that involves having brackets in them in some place or another. And as you know by now, we get rid of those brackets first before we can get to x, and so as to isolate x. And how we do this, if you remember correctly, is we use the distributive property. And to use the distributive property, remember, you multiply the number in front of the set of brackets by each term inside the bracket. So a would be multiplied by b here, and that gave you ab. And also then a would be multiplied by c, and that gave you positive ac. And thus it creates two terms. Now let's look at our examples together. So you'll see each time we just add on something new so that you can practice your equation skills more and more and hopefully get better and better at it. Now firstly here in example 1, we multiply negative 3 by 2x, and that gives you negative 6x. And then negative 3 is being multiplied by negative 1. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. And then is equal to 15. There's nothing to be done on the right hand side of the equal sign. So now it looks like a normal equation with a double step where you have to first get rid of your plus 3, your constant term on the left hand side. What we do on the one side of equals we do to the other, because there's a constant on the right hand side. We just subtract 3 from the right hand side, and thus on the left hand side remaining we'll have negative 6x equal to 15 minus 3, which is 12. And then our last step, inverse step that is, would be to divide by negative 6 on each side, and thus 1x remains on the left hand side, and on the right hand side 12 divided by negative 6 is equal to negative 2. Now on to the next example. You can pause and try it for yourself once again, and then come back and look at my solution if you prefer. Then we see we have a set of brackets on each side that we have to first get rid of by distribution, and so we say 4 times x, and that gives you 4x, and then 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12, equal to, on the right hand side it's 4 times 2x, which is 8x. Oops, forgot to change the pen again. Yeah, sorry man. That's 8x, and then on the right hand side still in the brackets 4 times 1 is positive 4, and then the plus 3 does not belong with the brackets, it's just another term on the right hand side, so we say plus 3. That's all. I'm going to tidy up on the right hand side firstly, 8x plus, and then the 4 and 3 I can add together, they're like terms, so it comes plus 7. And then on the left hand side there's nothing to add together, there are no like terms. And now we're simply going to isolate our variable. Once again we do this by firstly saying take away the x term or the variable term from the right hand side, and then what you do on the one side you do to the other side. Let's keep it equal but only to the like term. And then from the left we remove our constant term, it's negative 12, so we say plus 12 to remove it, gone, and then plus 12 to the like term, the other constant term on the right hand side. And now we simplify each part. 4x minus 8x on the left hand side gives you negative 4x, equal to, on the right hand side 7 plus 12 is 19, and then we divide by our coefficient of x, which is negative 4, and we get a funky answer of, oh, let me just cancel these, negative 4 becomes 1x, equal to, on the right hand side it's negative 19 divided by 4, and we keep it as such. You may have answers that are fractions, it's perfectly fine, they are numbers too, and yeah, there's nothing more to it. And you guys can have a look at activity 9.2, question 4 and question 8. Have a lovely Easter weekend, people.